Good morning, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to Vlogoween week 2. So today is the 4th of October today, and we are starting off Vlogoween week 2. It is Friday, and I just got done editing Vlogoween week 1. I have not uploaded it yet. So this weekend, we have a lot more spooky stuff going on than we did last weekend. This weekend, we're going to be going to Valley Scare, which is a haunted house type amusement park attraction. So there's a bunch of haunted houses at this local amusement park at night, and they were actually gone for 2 years, and I used to love going, but they discontinued it about 2 years ago, but it's finally back, and I'm so freaking excited. And that's on Saturday. So then Sunday, we're going to a fall festival, or like a pumpkin patch situation, and I'm so excited. There's like a corn maze and everything. We go to this every year. If you've been here in the past, you'll remember it's called Seavers, and it is just so much fun. It's gonna be super nice weather, which is amazing because last year it was like 1,000,000,000,000 degrees. So I'm so excited to have good weather where I can like actually wear all of my fun like spooky clothes and stuff and like dress up kind of to go to this. So I'm really excited about that. That's what's coming up this weekend. Otherwise, as we get farther into October, obviously the more spooky stuff comes, like especially the weekend of like the teens. So like 14, 15, 16, 17, that kind of weekend is a lot, but I won't spoil that until we get there. But that's like a big weekend. So I'm super excited about what's coming up in this Vlogoween week. I just, like I said, edited and finished up last week's, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. There was a lot of fun stuff that we were doing together. But this morning, I actually just got to my mother's. If you remember also from last year, my grandparents, my mom, and I have memberships at the same gym. So each Friday we all meet up there and like do our own thing there. And then we go to lunch after. So that's what we're doing this Friday. And I think we're gonna go to Chili's for lunch. And I did see that they have a spooky margarita. So like a witch's brew margarita. Not that I usually like drink with lunch, but I might have to try it. I don't get to Chili's very often, so I kind of want to try it. But anyways, that is what we're doing today so far. And then tonight we're going to a local brewery that we really love. That's going to be super exciting. They have really good food and stuff. And usually we just use Friday to like chill out, reset. After the week, we all just kind of like hang out. As in my mom, me, and Ryan, we all just like chill. We sit there for a couple hours and just kind of like chit chat and catch up. So that'll be really nice. Today's a really nice kind of relaxing day. I actually don't think I'm gonna be able to work out too much because, as you can tell, I'm still suffering from the allergies or illness or whatever that I have. I really think it's allergies because I haven't been super low energy. It's just like super stuffed up and my face feels like it's imploding, and I've gotten really tired at the end of the day. So I'm feeling okay, but I definitely am quite like ill, and I don't think that I could handle super heavy workouts. So I am gonna go catch my mom in her house and we're gonna get moving. But I got my Dracula bag today. I have my new Halloween shirt on, and yeah, all kinds of spooky activities going on. So I'm gonna go say hello to my mom and we're gonna get going with the day. Here's how you can tell that the trees are really not changing much here yet. This is in my mom's front yard. This tree is always like one of the prettiest, and in my opinion, one of the first to change. There's this branch right here that has a little bit, but otherwise like nothing. So we are kind of behind, I feel like, on the color change this year, but either way, I'm excited whenever it happens. Here's a little bit more. At the post office, the trees are definitely starting to change though. It's so pretty. Good morning, ghouls and ghosties. It is Saturday today, and we are starting our day by putting up a new mailbox. So that's really fun and thrilling. Somebody backed into our mailbox about a week ago. And so we ordered a new one, and today's the day that we're going to start putting it in. So that's where my morning is going to start. But it is a beautiful day outside. It is supposed to get like a little warmer today, up to like 80. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a warm 80 because it is like so nice out right now. It's going to be windy again. So I'm still like death staring at my 12 footers. So we're starting off by putting in a mailbox while ill. Isn't that fun? But tonight, as a reminder, is the amusement park haunted house attraction situation, and I'm so freaking excited. I'm so excited. It's gonna be such a beautiful night. I can't wait. I'm so pumped. Otherwise, for around lunchtime, we are going to a lunch like fundraiser for my cousin's hockey team. So that is something else we're doing today, but I think the main part of today is the haunted houses tonight. So I'm super excited, but I'll check in with you guys in a little bit once we're done with this mailbox. Well, ghouls and ghosties, it is a lot later in the day, and we are headed to, it's called Valley Scare now, which is the haunted amusement park attraction. I'm so freaking excited. We just stopped so Ryan could get a drink at the gas station, but I am so pumped. I've got my Scar mosquito jacket on, I've got my ghost face Scream jersey on, and I'm so freaking ready. It is so stunningly beautiful, nice outside. I am so happy with the weather that we're getting. And tomorrow for our fall festival, the weather's gonna be so nice too. It's been so fantastic. I think they have like 5 haunted houses, and then kind of the whole thing is set up. There's like fog machines. I think there's live concerts, live music. There might be like a spooky little bar situation there, a spooky restaurant. I don't really know. That, like I said, they haven't done this for like a couple years. So I'm really excited to see if they've like revamped it, added some new stuff. I don't know. I don't know what to expect, and I'm super excited. We don't have a ton of haunted kind of stuff around here, especially close to us. Like Minnesota has some, but they're kind of far. So this has always been one of my favorite things. So when it was gone for the past 2 years, it really sucked, but I'm really happy it's back, and I'm super excited to go. Wow, isn't this haunted house I'm in so scary? Ooh, ah, ee. If you can't tell, our plans have changed for the night. So we did drive all the way out to the amusement park, and there was a line of cars completely stopped for, I would say, like 2.5 to 3 miles from the entrance. And I would say at least, and I'm not over exaggerating, 1,000 cars. We drove at like 55, 60 miles an hour past this line, and we did not get past it for a good like 2 minutes. This, like, if we had waited in line to go, we would have probably been in line for at least 2 hours, maybe hour and a half. Absolutely crazy. So we, as you can tell, are back home, and I'm thinking we're just going to do like a bonfire tonight. It is definitely a huge bummer, because on the drive home we were discussing like, should we get tickets for a different date? Like, what should we do? And I don't know. We'll have to make that decision kind of as it comes. But it is definitely a huge bummer since this hasn't been around for the past 2 years. It always used to be one of my favorite things to do in the spooky season. Like, it's definitely really sucky to not get to go. That's the update for tonight. Sorry to let you guys down, but just know that I am even more let down. This really is disappointing. It had opened 15 or 20 minutes before we were getting around there, and the parking lot, which holds thousands of cars, also looked almost full besides this line that was waiting. So it was just like ridiculous. At least I have tomorrow to look forward to with the fall festival. I will let you guys go for the night. I'll show you a couple clips of us sitting outside and everything and whatever else we do tonight. But for the most part, I will let you guys go talking to you wise, because I don't want to be too much of a bummer right now. Time to go light a bonfire, a fall bonfire. That should hopefully cheer me up a little. Good morning, ghouls and ghosties. It is Sunday now. I have spooky coffee. I have a spooky outfit on. And we're going to be heading very soon to the fall festival called Seavers in our area. I also have my Kill James Patrick hat on and sweater. We'll get better outfit looks once we get there. But we just got done with our work for the morning because, of course, we have a video for the other channel that goes up on Sunday. So I've been working on that all morning. But now we are done and we're ready to go. And we're excited and I'm super pumped. There's no way this can go as bad as last night. So I'm super excited. But yeah, so we're gonna head over there and I'll give you a look at what it looks like and you'll get a look at our outfits, and I'm excited.
I'm struggling to put my shoes on.
When you enter, there's always this wall of pumpkins that hints at the theme for the year, and I see gnomes, so I guess we'll see how this goes. But right at the entrance, they have this big patch of pumpkins, of course, like pre-picked ones, but it's always fun to look at them. They have some really big ones. I was so happy the weather cooperated this year, so I wore a leather jacket with a sweater under it, Kill James Patrick of course, my Dracula bag, and some wide leg jeans. Ryan wore a sweater over a shirt and then some jeans as well. Finally, it was cool enough to wear these warmer pieces. When you walk in, there's a bunch of food booths and drink booths. They also still have the giant robot that they created last year because the theme last year was robots. This year they added some new art pieces to the front. I really liked the Scream jack-o'-lantern. When we got there, it was basically lunchtime, so we grabbed some lunch first. We got some fries and some hot dogs. They were a pretty good price for being at a festival like this, and the fries were super crispy and delicious. This year they had a mini golf setup that was based off of the state fair, so they had this Ferris wheel going around. They also had a butter statue garden and the haunted house from the state fair. Behind the mini golf area was the giant slide. There's a ton of stuff to do with this. One of our favorite things to do is watch the pumpkin cannons and watch all the kids shoot at these targets with the pumpkins. It's just super fun to sit there and watch. But they of course have some beautiful maple leaf trees that are all over the place. Some of them had changed a lot, some of them weren't really caught up, but they're so pretty. They also do piglet races, so we looked at the piglets. They were on lunch break, I think, but they're so freaking cute. They also have a petting zoo and feeding animals section that has sheep and goats and of course donkeys and mini horses and cows, but they also have a kangaroo and a camel, which is pretty wild. I don't think our climate is made for those animals. I also like to see the crate paintings that they have each year. This year there are some ants playing instruments, and those are right by the corn maze. So this year it does look like it's a magical forest of gnomes theme. So we walked around, and there are every letter of the alphabet that you can read a little fact on. It's fun to go through and find them all. They're very spread apart, so it takes a while, which I love because it's nice to just kind of wander around the cornfield. There were a few really interesting facts that I caught on footage. Good morning. Good afternoon. Wow, I don't know what just happened to my brain. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, ghouls and ghosties. So I'm going to go on an Aldi adventure right now. Ryan is taking a nap. He's not feeling 100%, which is kind of a bummer, but we had a great time at the fall festival. It was super fun. We spent most of our time watching people do the pumpkin like air gun situation. We usually do. That's kind of like our main thing we like to do there, but we did do the whole corn maze. We read every single different prompt. There's like the whole alphabet worth of prompts. Went to the petting zoo, as you guys saw. We did all that fun stuff, but yeah, we really like the pumpkin air gun situation. Air cannon. Clearly I'm not feeling super well either. But yeah, it was super fun. The drive is beautiful. It's like the whole thing is a very like rural drive with tons of trees and stuff. So it's super nice. I'm gonna go to Aldi. I've seen online people posting this like spooky cheese, and also I haven't been there since like really early in the season. So I'm interested to see like what special Halloween foods and stuff they have. So that's where I'm headed to now. Then I'm gonna come home and get a little bit of work I gotta get done before the week starts. And then sure we'll watch something spooky. I laid out in the hammock yesterday just in the fall air, and it was therapeutic. So I might do that also. That just sounds really nice if I can get all my work done. Off to Aldi with us. Aldi had their own apple cider donuts, but they are nowhere near as good as Trader Joe's, and they also did have the cheeses I was looking for, except there was one more that they were missing. I believe it's a Dracula garlic one, which would have probably been my favorite, so that's kind of a bummer. They, of course, had their full aisle of candy and everything. They also had some home decor and pillows and all the usual kind of Aldi Halloween selection. I finally found the pumpkin spice Belvitas. They only had 4 left, so I bought all of them. My mom took 2 and I kept 2. I love these things. And they had these spooky Tyson chicken nuggets, just like Walmart had. They also had these ice cream pops that are jack-o'-lantern shaped. Really cute. I decided to grab these Halloween-shaped pasta noodles just to add a little spooky dinner in for one of the nights. Then later when I got home, we went on a walk with the dogs. It was so nice outside. Ghouls and ghosties, it is like 7:30, which already means it's dark. That's just how obviously fall goes. But oh my gosh, we have a code orange October 6th. We have a code orange this late in the season. So I am on a very important, very amazing mission right now. And I scored one of my biggest dream. Hold on a sec. How do I turn my own light on? I don't know what I'm doing here. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Start at the beginning. So I had something to ship on Marketplace. Somebody had ordered something from me. And so I opened Marketplace and something to buy popped up that I have been looking for years. It is possibly one of my biggest, longest length in time ISO in search of Halloween pieces ever. And I know I'm not alone in loving this piece. I've seen it go viral when other people just happen to stumble across it at a thrift store, but it is not in production anymore. It has not been for years, and I'm not going to tell you guys what it is till I go pick it up. But I messaged this lady in like the blink of an eye. I was like, she had it listed for $10. I was like, I will pick this up right now, tonight, this second. I'll bring cash if it's available. She hadn't read it for 2 minutes, and I'm like a spooky psycho. So I was like, I will even give you $15 if you need it. I was like, please. And she opened it then, and she was like, oh, 10 is fine. Just Venmo me and come over and get it. I was like, yes, okay, done. I'm there. So I'm gonna type the address in, I'm gonna go pick it up, and I'm gonna show you guys. I can't believe I found this. And some of you might be like, huh? But some of you are gonna get it, and I'm so excited, so I'm off. Ghouls and ghosties. I am so excited. I cannot even put it into words. Seriously, this is like a dream coming true for me. Like, I am so happy and excited about this. Now, let me fill you all in for the ones that don't know the lore and the amazingness behind this piece. So this is a clearly Vampire Fang, gimmicky, campy, quirky candy bowl. So you put the candy in here, and it's a candy bowl. And you can like grab it out the back, of course, too, but you can grab it through the mouth. Now, this thing glows in the dark, and it is originally made by Hallmark. This still has the Hallmark sticker on it. It doesn't have a year it's from, and I don't know the year it is from, but it is from many years ago. I'd say somewhere in the 20-teens, I think. I think it's before 2020. I'm not certain, but I know even back in like 2021, it was like this really, really built up rare piece. So this piece has become extremely rare and extremely sought after because of how amazing it is. Now, when I first saw pictures and stuff of it, I didn't know it was rare. I just wanted it. I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? Like, that is so me. It is so classic. It is so campy. It is so funny, but at the same time spooky. Like, perfect. Then I looked into it and I was like, oh, I will never own that in my life because they're so rare. They have so much value now. I just out of curiosity, once I got home, looked up what they go for on eBay, and you get lucky to find one for $150. But there is one listed right now that is $325. So finding this for 10 is mind blowing, and I am in disbelief. Like, I've wanted this for years. I've at least wanted this since 2021, 2022. I think is kind of when I found out about this. It was originally $15 at Hallmark. So actually, I even got a discount off of the retail price, but I just can't believe it. I have wanted this for years. And I had accepted I will never own one. I would not even pay $150 unless I had all the money in the world. But like, that is crazy for a piece of plastic candy bowl. But now I own it. This has quickly become in the top 5 Halloween purchases of the year. I can't believe it. I'm like in awe. My jaw is as dropped as this guy's. Like, that's how I feel. This is also like brand new. This sticker inside, this candy picture sticker, I think is the original Hallmark. It has the little like tab stickers on the side to keep it in. And like I said, she still has the tag with the price on. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Like, to find one that's like brand new for $10 is mind-blowing. So I need to go brag on the Facebook groups about this, and I'm gonna make like a TikTok out of this because I am in awe and in disbelief. And I know there's a lot of you that know. Like, you're a ghoul to ghouls and you know how crazy it is that I found this. And a lot of people online are gonna they're gonna get it. I get it. I know my people. I know my ghouls and ghosties. You guys you're gonna get it. So other people think I'm crazy for being so shook up by this, but I am shook, quaking, and rattled. My bones are rattled. I need to take like a really fun picture of this somewhere. So I'm gonna go take a picture and post it. But guys, this is one of the biggest Halloweens of the year. And it happened so late in the year. I can't believe it. I kept saying to the lady, like, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. She's probably like, what is your deal? Like, you're so weird. I have fangs on the front of my like grill of my car. She probably was like, okay, please just take this and leave because I don't want to talk to you. But anyways, I'm so happy I could share this with you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go. This is taking too long. The next morning, I went to Target because we were kind of low on a few things. Also, Ryan needed some medicine, and I found this Death Wish coffee that was actually on sale. They were also playing the Monster Mash, that's why I pointed at the ceiling. But when I got home, I had some lunch and watched Halloween from 1978. It was as good as usual. And later on in the day, Ryan actually needed a prescription, so I went to Walgreens, and here's a quick look at what Walgreens has. I never spend too much time looking here because everything's pretty high priced, even with those clearance tags, and it's pretty poor quality and not the best stuff. Alrighty, ghouls and ghosties, it is 7:33 as you can see right here, and we are going to actually be doing cooking in the cauldron once again. I'm not obviously going to go as in-depth as I did last time when we made a standalone video for it because this is just part of Vlogoween. I'm going to be making chicken noodle soup, homemade, that I just saw a recipe for online the other day, so I'm super excited. I have a bunch of like fresh ingredients to put in. It calls for celery, onion, and carrots, fresh chicken, which I just picked up at the store today, chicken broth, noodles, of course, and garlic. And we're gonna get to cooking. I'll kind of check in as we go. I gotta chop up these and kind of dice them, and then obviously I gotta dice the onion too. Though I'm sure you can hear the dogs whining, and that is because they are both addicted to celery. So it calls for 3 pieces of celery, which I have right here, and these are the offerings to the fuzzy beasts because they will not be okay with not receiving celery. It is like their favorite food. All right, veggies are chopped. I'm gonna hold off on this carrot because I feel like I have a lot of carrot and I don't wanna overdo it, so we'll see. I can obviously, if I don't feel like it's enough, add that carrot later. So now we have to cook up the chicken, which I need a pan for. Now we add the onion and garlic where the chicken had cooked to kind of soak in the flavor. Alright, so I'm gonna move the onions over into the pot and kind of add some water to get the like grizzle in there as well. Then I'm gonna add the other veggies, and it actually calls for some tomato paste, some chicken bouillon, which I have as like a powder. Food has entered the cauldron. Added some butter, and we're gonna let this tomato paste kind of thin a little. Then I'm going to add the chicken broth. Then I gotta chop up the chicken into more like cubes, and we will add that in, and we gotta boil the noodles on the side actually. But it smells so good. The broth is in, and I just turned up the temperature, ready for some boiling. Double, double, toil and trouble. The cauldron of veggies and broth has started to bubble. Also, I chopped the chicken. And I'm going to start cooking the noodles soon. So it's a half a pound of noodles, which I have a pound in this box, so I'll have to use half. The recipe calls for 3/4 a cup of heavy cream, but I do not have that, so I'm gonna use 3/4 a cup of, once again, Nosferatu cheese. This whole thing, I think, is it's a cup, so we're just gonna use part of it, I guess. Then we had the noodles, which are almost done, I believe. And then we had the chicken. Also, I do apologize for any dirtiness. I need to clean the stove so bad. Let's see. Time for noodles. I'm gonna do this off camera because I remember the splashing from last time and we don't need to relive that. Okay, the noodles are in. I feel more safe with the chicken, so let's slowly. Perfect. Time to stir. I am so excited. This looks and smells so good. I'm once again so freaking proud of myself. Oh my gosh. This has kind of become my little magic spoon, I guess. I don't need a plain wooden one anymore. This is my like blue magic spoon. Delicious. And no, I am not home alone, if anyone's wondering. Ryan is pretty ill today, so he's in a dark room resting. But I have also been watching Halloween Town High. I thought I could get away with watching this one alone because I'm sure Ryan wants to watch the first two with me. Good morning, ghouls and ghosties. It is the 8th of October right now, and we have yet another Code Orange. This has been one of the most active spooky weeks for Code Oranges in an October, I think, ever for us. This is crazy. I just got a text from my local HomeGoods. Yes, I have become that close with one of the people there, and she was keeping her eye out for something for me. Now, if you were with us for haunt hunting, which I would assume a lot of you were, you will know that there were some specific pieces that I was hunting for quite vigorously and quite hard this spooky haunt hunting season. And I was able to score a couple of one of the pieces that I wanted, which was of course the spider web spider bench, so like the metal one. I was still holding out hope for finding the spider web like wooden or wooden imitation bench. And I was kind of okay and accepting that I wasn't gonna get one or find one now because of course like I have a couple of the metal one, but I just got a text from my HomeGoods buddy, and she told me that they just got the wooden, I have to see it in person, the wooden spiderweb bench in. And I'm gonna go get it. So I obviously have other benches now, and this is gonna be like a game of rearrangement and figuring out where I'm actually gonna put this one. But with how bad I wanted it and how hard I was looking for it, like I just gotta have it. And also Ryan was like, please go get it. So I'm going to, and I'm really excited. I don't know if it's gonna fit my car. If not, I'm gonna have to borrow my mom's car like tomorrow morning or maybe tonight or something like that. Or maybe my dad's car. Both of theirs are a lot bigger than mine. But I'm heading there right now. So I'm really excited. I'm having the issue that I made up as like a joke where I was like, we're gonna get to a point where there's gonna be too many benches. We've hit that point. We're just gonna deal with it. We're just gonna figure out what to do. I don't know what we're gonna do. At some point, we actually have to lose one of our trees in the front yard, so maybe I'll set up some whole kind of like spooky, like seating area. I don't really know. But we'll make it work with all of our bench buddies, all of our bench babies. I will find places for all of them, and it won't look like overcrowded or tacky. I will make it work. I kind of wish I had a spot on the inside of the house to put it, but I really don't think I do. I mean, I also have like the back patio area. We have a ton of room back there, and some of our furniture back there was just kind of stuff we were grabbing when we were trying to kind of fill it up and create seating areas. So we'll see. Maybe I can put it back there. Otherwise, this is a Tuesday. So of course we have Talk or Treat coming up today, and I haven't decided on my treat yet, but I've decided on my talking points. So today we have kind of a combination of 3 talking points, and they do draw from some of the suggestions you guys left. So if you have any more suggestions that you are interested in talking about, definitely let me know. Today we're going to be talking about spooky nostalgia mixed with how Halloween has changed, mixed with spooky memories of mine, like personal spooky little memories that really stand out in mine. So it's not just gonna be like, oh, I wore this costume. Like, I have some very specific, really like random memories in mind. I don't know if I was like scarred for life or what the deal was, but like they are very prominent in my brain. Last year, the spooky nostalgia talking point was like my favorite talk or treat. I'm pretty excited to discuss with you guys and see what your feedback is. I'm gonna go to HomeGoods now. I will show you guys my new bench, and this is like the latest season Halloween ever. It's crazy. Let's go. Like good old times, I walked into HomeGoods and oh my gosh, there it was, the bench of my dreams, the wooden spiderweb bench. I was so excited, but I told them to hold it while I looked around, and I found a couple things I hadn't seen, like this kind of bohemian bat quilt pillow. It was really, really nice, and they also had this Nightmare Before Christmas kind of printed graphic canister I hadn't seen earlier in the year, and they had a Joanna Parker rug that I've seen in past years, but not this year. I also had to grab this dog toy. I got one earlier in the year and my dogs are obsessed with it, so I need 2. The bench is in the car. It actually collapses like completely. I'd heard it folds, but I kind of thought that it was just like the back would maybe fold down onto the seat. But actually the seat folds up and then the arms fold in. So it also would be amazing for storage if I wasn't using it all year, but I will. I'm freaking pumped. I'm so excited. I have the bench. I have both benches now, guys. I guess I manifested both benches. And now I have a surplus of benches. More seating means I can have more people over for like a Halloween party, more spooky seating. Everyone gets to sit on a spiderweb bench of some shape or form. So anyways, I am going to go start my other errands for the day. Hello, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to our second talk or treat of the season. So today, for a treat, I chose some M&Ms. And did I take these from the trick-or-treater candy that I have? Maybe. I did. So I, at Costco, bought like, I think each bag was 6 pounds, like 12 bags of just random chocolate candy for trick-or-treaters. So I have been diving in a little bit and taking some of the M&Ms, but that's okay. That's okay. There's plenty to go around, plenty to share. I have a lot of other stuff to give them anyways. They'll be okay. But yeah, I picked M&Ms today. One of my favorites, probably. I've always liked Take 5, Kit Kats. Everybody likes Reese's. Then probably M&Ms, but I do really like peanut M&Ms too, so like, it'd be hard to pick. These are just regular ones. So as I said at the beginning of today, the topic for this week is spooky nostalgia, changes in Halloween over the years, and personal Halloween memories. So personal Halloween memories was suggested by one of you because last week I asked you guys if you had any suggestions or any topics you wanted to see, and I do have a couple that I collected from some of you. So people talking about some spooky clothing or t-shirts that I own, some of my favorites and stuff. Spooky kitchen collection, because as you guys know, my kitchen is spooky all year. Favorite and least favorite spooky icons or monsters and reasons why. Certain rooms I decorate with them. Movie discussion, specifically I think this person said horror movies, but of course any spooky movies would work too. And then spooky memories, which is part of this one. So we're gonna kind of start off with the spooky nostalgia. Now, if you weren't here last year, that was one of the topics we talked about last year. So there are a few things we talked about last year that I won't be talking about again this year just because I don't want to repeat. But we talked about some of the like old Pillsbury cookies, those sugar cookies, and how I always thought there was like a third graphic versus the ghost and the pumpkin. We talked about Halloween kid cuisine and how we remembered those, and just a bunch of the kind of like random 90s, 2000s kind of spooky memories that I just happened to have come to me while we were talking about it last year. But I do have a couple more things that have randomly come to me this year, but then I also just have some topics that I kind of just want to like discuss with you guys. Now, just like last week, feel free to leave all kinds of comments, either agreeing with me, disagreeing with me, adding your thoughts, opinions, experiences in the comments below about Talk or Treat. This is kind of like the best part of the week when it comes to like having a conversation together, so I always love Talk or Treats. After we talk about the spooky nostalgia that came to my mind, I think then we're gonna talk about the personal memories that I have. I have kind of like 4 very small stories that I just wanted to share with you guys from my childhood. And then I wanted to talk about some changes that have like happened with Halloween over the years. This will kind of be included in the first part, but then at the end, I kind of want to talk about some of the differences that there are now versus things that were different then, if that makes any sense. So starting off with spooky nostalgia, one thing that I feel like was a lot bigger back in the past was Halloween specials or like Halloween marathons on TV. And I don't know if it was just because I was obviously like a kid back in the very late 90s and early 2000s. I was born in 1997, so it's hard for me to reflect on some of the 90s Halloween memories because I was up to 3 years old in the 90s. But a lot of it I still do remember because obviously like stuff gets repeated, stuff gets reshown and stuff like that. But there were so many more Halloween specials and marathons. Like I feel like Cartoon Network and stuff would have like all day Scooby-Doo marathon because it's only like 2 weeks out from Halloween. And then like Nick at Night would have all of the like Home Improvement, Everybody Hates Chris, like The Nanny, all the different like Halloween episodes from those shows would be like all on one night or all in a row or something like that. Like Family Guy always had Halloween specials. Bob's Burgers kind of a little later always had Halloween specials. But I especially remember like the kids ones. And I didn't watch Disney much, but I know Disney had a bunch of Halloween specials too. And of course Disney had a lot of the Halloween movies, like they obviously own Hocus Pocus and stuff. But I also remember the 13 Nights of Halloween, which was on ABC Family every year. I loved that. It was like they started off by doing all the classics. It'd be like Twitches, Halloween Town, My Mom's Dating a Vampire, Halloween Town 2, Beetlejuice, the really, really classic Halloween movies. Then over the years, they started to trickle in some that like some people would consider Halloween, but some people would consider not as much. Like Harry Potter started to get added into it. I think even Star Wars would sometimes be added. Twilight maybe was added in, which again, all those, maybe you could argue they are, but it got away from the like actual like Halloween jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins type situation. And then they finally made it bigger and they made it into like the 31 Nights of Halloween like it is, I think, now. And now there's all kinds of stuff in there. I don't even, like, I feel like they put all kinds of movies that they consider to be Halloween. Well, I was looking at Disney Plus. Because they have like, nowadays, they have like a continuous stream, it looked like, of like Halloween movies. But they were playing like Trolls 2 or something. And I was like, I think we've lost the plot. I don't know what's going on here anymore. But yeah, I really remember I was like a Cartoon Network kid, as you can tell by my like Courage the Cowardly Dog tattoo and basically all my favorite cartoons being Cartoon Network shows. I really remember them having a lot of Halloween marathons and specials, and they would have kind of like the in-between where it would be like coming up on Cartoon Network, they'd have Halloween stuff there. Like it'd be some of the characters interacting with each other and scaring each other, like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and Scooby-Doo and Courage and Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I guess I don't know what Goosebumps was on. That maybe was, what was Goosebumps on? Does anyone remember? Was that Disney? Or was that like was that like Discovery or something? But of course there was Goosebumps too. I don't know how I totally forgot about that. Anyways, I just remember and reflect on the childhood Halloween marathons and specials. I'm obviously not a child anymore. I don't have one, at least for now and for a while. So I don't know, maybe they do still show as many marathons and Halloween specials and I'm just like out of that world, but it doesn't feel like it to me. Again, though, I could just be completely like disconnected. One of the best ones though, hopping from Cartoon Network to Nickelodeon, was SpongeBob, the SpongeBob Scaredy Pants, which honestly might technically be from the 90s because that was in like season 1, I think, which probably was the 90s. That was like one of my favorites. It still is. And actually a tradition of mine is Halloween Day. Every year for the past, I don't even know, like 6 to 10 years, I wake up on Halloween Day and the first thing I do, I don't even get out of bed. I just turn on the SpongeBob Halloween special, the SpongeBob Scaredy Pants special, and I watch it Halloween morning. And then, okay, one more thing going back to Cartoon Network. Who remembers Scary Godmother? It was like that weird 3D cartoon. It was very like Monster House type animation, but it was, it was this weird show about these like kids and they knew all these monsters. I don't even remember it that well. Hopefully I'm putting in pictures and stuff, but it was really odd and I think it was a Cartoon Network show. But it would only come on during Halloween. I always forget if it was like a movie or if it had like multiple different episodes. I don't remember. Maybe someone can refresh me on that. Another thing that I feel like there was a lot more of back in the day that there is not now is Halloween commercials. So I think this even goes past the early 2000s, like before my time, like the 90s and 80s were really peak for the Halloween commercials, like the Elvira, the Bud Light, Budweiser commercials, all those different things. I love to, if you've never done this, it's something super fun to do if you just want background noise or you just like, you're working and you just want something like in the background. Look up the compilations of Halloween commercials, like vintage ones. It is just like, it is, I just love it. There's like 2-hour-long YouTube videos and sometimes I'll just turn those on and just like sit and work and like just whatever, walk around the house. I don't know, but it's so much fun. But anyways, ones I can remember, especially from when I was a kid, was like M&M's always had one, and I think they still do. M&M's definitely still does, along with Reese's. I remember Reese's ones back in the day, and they definitely still do them as well. But there were Snickers ones back in the day. There was Target and Walmart, which I definitely don't see Halloween commercials from them anymore. I'm sure Kmart and stuff had Halloween commercials too, but they obviously aren't around. Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network had their own Halloween commercials. Burger King commercials. I think McDonald's would have Halloween commercials. I just feel like there was a lot more for like Halloween advertisement back in the day, and it made the advertisement part of watching like media a lot more entertaining. Like, it was nice when commercials were more funny or fun to watch or whatever. I feel like we do not have much of that anymore, at least in my area. But then I also saw commercials for like local attractions sometimes, like the thing that we tried to do on Saturday, Valley Scare. That used to always have a commercial and I would always be like, when I was a little kid, and I'd be like, I couldn't go to that. That sounds so scary. And then a couple just miscellaneous memories that I just wanted to like share with you guys and reflect on. Does anyone remember wax lips? What was the deal with those? They must have had something to do with like those little wax like bottles that had like that really, really sweet juice in it, which I used to love those as a kid. Now I'm like, why? But were wax lips supposed to be eaten? Or did you just like bite them and wear them as like lips? I don't know, but those don't really exist anymore. They probably do, but I haven't seen them in forever, which I think is really interesting. Also those bendy skeletons. Now this is like a really miscellaneous thing that just popped into my mind, but there were these like white, maybe like 4 or 5 inch tall skeletons, and they were like rubber, but on the inside of them there was like a metal wire that went through all their like limbs, and so you could just like bend them in different positions. Again, I've left room, so hopefully I'm putting in pictures here, but where did those go? Those pumpkin leaf bags, I remember seeing those all the time, not in use, but in stores. Did anyone ever actually use those is my question, because I feel like I never saw those in people's yards, but they were always in stores, always, like everywhere. Walmart, Target, they all had those like leaf bag, jack-o'-lantern face bags, but nobody had them in their yard. Probably because you don't want to kill your grass leaving a bag of leaves out, but like, I don't know. I fail to believe that anyone actually ever bought those. I think they were just like something that existed. And then school activities. So this is definitely something that I know is gone, at least in our area, because I'm obviously married to a teacher, so I know this doesn't exist anymore, but like schools, public schools used to have more Halloween activities. I feel like every kind of holiday and stuff had a little bit more festivity, especially in like elementary school. But I remember making like painting pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns in elementary school. We definitely had a day where we could wear costumes as well to school, and we could even wear a mask, which, I mean, I get why some of this is like not allowed anymore, but I do remember that being a thing when I was a kid. I think there would sometimes be Halloween parties. We would get like candy handed out. There sometimes would be like a costume parade. I think in like my day, we would just go through the hallways of the school, but I know back in the day, they would even like parade around like maybe the city or something back in like the 80s or something. And then also one like really thing that stands out in my mind that I remember really well was we would have like computer lab class in elementary school. And the day after Halloween, or the next time you had that class after, you had the assignment to have counted how much you got of each different candy. So like Snickers, lollipops, Reese's, Three Musketeers, like write down the physical amount you got of each one. And then in computer class, we'd put them in Excel and we'd make like a chart or a graph out of them, which I love. Like, that is such a good, cool idea for implementing like education into Halloween. And I remember that like stood out to me. Did anyone else do that? I remember that so well. I was like so excited for that assignment. I remember that. Okay, a couple personal memories that I have that I just want to share with you guys. You might be surprised, but when I was a kid, I was a freaking scaredy cat. I could not handle haunted houses. I could not handle horror movies. Nothing. I didn't like the scary stuff. I only liked Halloween for like the fun. And back in the day, the first exposure to a horror movie that I ever had was the movie Hellraiser, which is Pinhead. And my dad had this VHS tape. Yes, a VHS tape. I remember it not fondly. I remember it well. But he had a VHS tape called The Boogeyman or The Boogeymen. It was like a collection of different scary scenes from horror movies. And he was like, Jack, I'm gonna finally show you a horror movie. I was definitely too young for this, mind you. And so he put it in, and Pinhead Hellraiser was the first one. And the scene barely started. And I was like, we gotta turn this off. I can't do this. Like, we gotta, no. After that, it took me a long time to watch horror movies after that. I remember, now I love them, especially those older classic ones. But I remember I was like, no, this is horrifying. I'm gonna cry. Another memory that I have, and this is actually from like Halloween night, is 2 houses up the street, across the street from me when I was growing up, was this house, which this man has either moved on or moved out a long time ago, because he was very old when I was young. I don't think he had much decor. I don't even know if he had any decor outside, but he did always give out candy. And his thing that he did was he would open his like porch door, like front door, the heavy sealed glass or whatever metal door, and then would sit behind this like second door that had just like the top half was a window that was open. So it would just sit there open. He'd have one spotlight in his house right over that door, and he would sit in a old chair, either rocking chair or just normal chair, with a horrifying old man mask on, and he would just sit there with his bowl of candy, and as you walk up, wouldn't move a muscle, wouldn't say anything, and you still had to walk up and say like trick or treat to him, and he would just like kind of like laugh or something and like hand you a piece of candy. And it was like the weirdest, creepiest thing to me as a kid. I was like, do we have to? Like, I don't know if this is worth it. I don't know if I need the one Snicker. No. 2 other things I remember. So when I was a kid as well, we really liked to listen to Halloween music, almost like people listen to Christmas music, like I do now. I always link my playlist on Spotify below, but I always listen to Halloween music, kind of all year, but especially around now. And we would as a kid, and so one time my uncle made a like mixed tape. It was like a mixed CD, because this was a little after mixtapes. And one time I was alone at home for some reason. But again, I was like a kid that loved Halloween. So I put the CD in, and I was like, I'm just gonna jam to all the good like Thriller and all that stuff. So I was sitting on the couch, the like radio playing it was in the kitchen, like 2 rooms over. He also had included some like sounds, like thunder and whatever, and then like some just like theme music, like Exorcist music, Twilight Zone, like the no words but the music. And the Halloween, like from the movie Halloween, 1978 Halloween, that soundtrack or whatever, that like theme was in that. And I was sitting alone, and I was like almost in the dark in the house. I think the only light on was the one in the room I was sitting in. I don't know why I did this. And I remember the theme for Halloween coming on, and I was sitting on this couch, and I had almost like a panic attack. I was like, somebody's in the next room, because it was like pitch black. I was like, somebody's in my mom's room. Oh my gosh, did I just hear a creak downstairs? Like, I was freaking out. Yeah, that was horrifying. And again, because I was a scaredy cat, I could not listen to the Halloween theme for a long time after that. It always kind of like triggered me and freaked me out. And last but not least, for memories, as a kid, we'd play a game called hide and spook? I think it was hide and spook. And what we would do is we would take all of our treat buckets, like the plastic ones, and we would bring them in the backyard because my parents had a pretty big backyard with quite a bit of trees and like we had a trampoline. There's a lot of stuff in the backyard. Like it'd be my brother, me, and my dad. And one of us would hide them and then the other two would go find them and we'd just like repeat that cycle. Kind of like hide and seek. We should have called it hide and eek, but I guess Target took that before we could think of it. So I think we called it hide and spook. That's what we would do. And we would do it a couple different nights before Halloween. It was so much fun. It's like very simple, but it was always really, really fun. So I remember that as a kid and it'd be like super cold. You'd have to put your jacket on because it was like late October. So if you have kids, that's an idea. I definitely will, if I ever have a child at some point, play that because I loved playing that. So a couple really quick things. I know this has been long. Talk or treat is always super long. Random things I've noticed have changed throughout the years, but I think are actually improvements for modern day Halloween versus past. Now that we've kind of talked about the past, let's talk about what it's like now and how I think there are some things that are better, which even I was surprised that I could come up with a list of things that I think are better now. But I think decor selections are a lot better now. I know there's like traditional classic stuff that I love. I'm not saying like the physical pieces themselves. I mean like the amount of stuff and the number of different like stores that carry things, just the amount of stuff, the selection is so much better now. And there's a lot more like, I feel like innovation with Halloween, like the 12 footers. That's only been around for like 5 years now. But back in the day, in the 90s, early 2000s, like that was not a thing at all. And so I do really like that we've reached a point where like more stores carry stuff and it's like improved, it's innovated. I think year-round items especially over the past couple years, have become more prominent, especially with HomeGoods and like Pottery Barn and stuff, getting these like year-round like kitchen utensils, like the Le Creuset bat pot. Why would I only use that during Halloween? Of course I'm gonna use it all year. Or like the benches that we got this year, or the mirror that I got this year. Like, I like that there is now starting to be some stuff that isn't just like a decor piece you set on a table. Like there's more year-round stuff nowadays, which definitely wasn't really a thing back then. Limited edition items are much more prominent now. So like how there's a Stanley Cup that's Halloween version, or you can like MeUndies, the Undies brand, they will make Halloween ones. Like there's like limited drops of Halloween stuff from like every brand on earth now. Like Ruggable. I love that like every brand kind of does something. I know it's just marketing and it's just to make money, but like I love it. I love that there's so many options now and so many different like things. Media selections, I actually feel like have gotten so much better. So back in the day, it was like, though there were so many amazing cartoons and marathons and commercials and everything, that was kind of the only option. Pick your DVD or VHS tape out, pick a CD, or pick like a TV channel and hope something's on. Nowadays, it's like I can go on TikTok, I can go on YouTube, I can go on Spotify, I can go anywhere and I can like find stuff even in the off season, which I love. So that is a huge improvement for Halloween celebration and Halloween people, I feel like. It's just how much access we have to spooky stuff like Netflix, Hulu, Shudder. Again, we can watch these anytime we want, unlimited, whatever we want, all the time. And last but not least, the best improvement I feel like overall for Halloween nowadays versus in the past is the new, longer, super extended season that basically goes from the 5th of July, or even earlier, to October 31st. And really, if you're like me, it can kind of go throughout the whole year if you're shopping and looking in the right places. So that, again, definitely was not a thing back in the day. Like, Halloween was just like when school started to Halloween, basically. But now it's all the way from July to Halloween, which is fantastic. So I wanted to reflect on things that I think were better back in the day, or I miss, I guess, or I'm nostalgic for. But then I also wanted to touch on how like you can't say things have like gotten just like worse. Like I feel like there definitely are aspects modern day that I really appreciate, and I like certain changes that have happened. So that's all that I have for you guys today for this talk or treat. I don't think I really have anything else spooky going on today. I think we're just gonna walk the dogs a little bit later. One of my Skelly's arms fell off. I have to go put that back up, and then we're gonna have a bonfire later, so I'll probably just put in like just teeny little clips here and there. But for spooky stuff today, that's about it. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about any of these kind of 3 things. Give me a personal story you have that you really like. Give me some nostalgia you have from whatever 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whenever you're from, 2000s, 2010s. I don't know, but tell me. And then also, like, do you see that there are definitely aspects of Halloween that are a lot better nowadays? Do you agree with me on that? Or do you think, like, no, let's just go back in time? Let me know. And yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble. With all these leaves on the ground, it smells like fall out here. It is so nice. We're gonna have a little bonfire tonight for a while. And there's the bench. How peaceful and fall and beautiful. We ended off the night of the 8th with a really nice bonfire, and actually on the 9th, not that much happened. So here's a look at some of the beautiful trees I saw when we went on our night walk, but the day was kind of just full of work and really nothing fun or riveting, so I just didn't even film anything. Hello, ghouls and ghosties. It is the 10th. It is Thursday today, and I am gonna get some outside work done. So this morning, I have just been doing some errands, nothing too exciting. I had lunch with my mom. We just went to Chipotle. Nothing spooky about that. I need to put an arm back up on my Skelly, and I also have to figure out his rib cage light. His chest light is not going on, so I must not have it hooked up right. But then I also have some tulips to plant because fall is... Jeez, I keep hitting that bike. Fall is when you're supposed to plant tulips, and a good friend of mine that I see at Goodwill quite frequently gave me some tulips to plant, and so we have an area on the side of our house that'll be a perfect spot for that. And then I think I'm gonna do kind of like an inventory on all the other spooky stuff I have for the outdoors and figure out where to put some of it because it's not all out yet. So that's what I'm doing today. I got a bat shirt on, still definitely not feeling 100%, but I think we're slowly getting better. So yeah, just doing some outside work today because it is beautiful. It is like 70, so it's kind of a warm fall day right now, but I'm not complaining. It's wonderful. So yeah, I'm gonna get some stuff done and I'll check in if something fun happens. Can I lend you a hand? Much better. Hello, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to the end of Vlogoween week 2. So it is Friday when I'm filming this. I'm laying in the leaves. I have to make a leaf angel, but they smell so good. This is like peak fall smell time. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but there's like a smell of fall. And it's now. Like, this is the perfect fall smell time. Anyways, it's Friday that I'm filming this little clip, and I have already, of course, started filming the next week of Vlogoween, and tonight we have a very exciting event, but I'm not going to tell you guys about it because you'll have to wait till next week to see, but it is my favorite event of the entire year, so I'm very, 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 very excited. If you made it this far all the way to the end, leave a tombstone emoji. That's a thing, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, leave a tombstone emoji to let me know that you actually watched all the way through. It was really, really nice and satisfying to see the bat emojis all over the comments last week and see that a bunch of you actually did watch all the way through. So anyways, that is all that I have for you guys this week. It is once again so freaking nice outside. Oh, I'm just living it up and loving this October. But I will catch you guys in a week for some more spooky adventures. I had a blast with you guys. I cannot believe the Halloweens and the code oranges we had. And it's this late in the season. But I'm having so much fun with Vlogoween like past years. So much fun with Talk or Treat. So be sure to also leave me some more suggestions for conversations you want to have. And I will catch you guys next week. Goodbye, ghouls and ghosties.